Hi guys, Miss Davis here. I'm back for day 33 of the Anne Frank series. And so today I'm going to jump right into it. I know I'm always trying to search for a theme or something that ties the journal entries together today. And the theme that I have determined to be important is that Anne is really sort of riding the line between being grown up, being a child, and being grown and not needing her parents or any advice from them, and being a child and needing her parents desperately. So, I think that's a universal struggle, something that a lot of young people deal with on a fairly regular basis. They want to be independent, they want to be, trusted to do what they want to do without their parents, hiding their butts. But at the same time, they also need their parents to guide them and support them and things of that nature. So it's a tough time for all kinds of people because you're really kind of one foot in both worlds. So Anne talks about that a little bit today. So we'll get right into it. Next journal entry is Wednesday, the 3rd of May, 1944. Dear Kitty, first, just news of the week. We're having a holiday from politics. There is nothing, absolutely nothing to announce. I, too, am gradually beginning to believe that the invasion will come. After all, they can't let the Russians clear up everything. For that matter, they're not doing anything either at the moment. Mr. Kufius comes to the office every morning again now. He's got a new spring for Peter's divan, so Peter will have to do some upholstering, about which, quite understandably, he doesn't feel a bit happy. Have I told you that Bushy has disappeared? Simply vanished. We haven't seen a sign of her since Thursday of last week. I expect she's already in the cat's heaven, while some animal lover is enjoying a succulent meal from her. Perhaps some little girl will be given a fur cap out of her skin. Peter's very sad about it. Since Saturday we've changed over and have lunch at 11:30 in the mornings, so we have to last out with some cupful of porridge. Well, this saves us a meal. Vegetables are still very difficult to obtain. We had rotten boiled lettuce this afternoon. Ordinary lettuce, spinach, and boiled lettuce, there's nothing else. With these, we eat rotten potatoes. So it's a delicious combination. As you can easily imagine, we often ask ourselves here despairingly, oh, what is the use of this war? Why can't people live peacefully together? Why all this destruction? The question is very understandable, but no one has found a satisfactory answer to it so far. Yes, why do they make still more gigantic planes, still heavier bombs, and at the same time prefabricated houses for reconstruction? Why should millions be spent daily on the war, and yet there's not a penny available for medical service, artists, and poor people? Why do some people have to starve while there are surpluses rotting in other parts of the world? Why? Oh, why are people so crazy? I don't believe that the big men, the politicians and the capitalists alone are guilty of the war. Oh no, the little man is just as guilty. Otherwise, the peoples of the world would have arisen in revolt long ago. There's in people simply an urge to destroy, an urge to kill, to murder and rage, and until all mankind without exception undergoes a great change, wars will be waged. Everything that has been built up, cultivated, and grown will be destroyed and disfigured, after which mankind will have to begin all over again. I have often been downcast, but never in despair. I regard our hiding as a dangerous adventure, romantic and interesting at the same time. In my diary, I treat all the privations as amusing. I have made up my mind now to lead a different life from the other girls, and later on different from ordinary housewives. My start has been so very full of interest, and that is the sole reason why I have to laugh at the humorous side of the most dangerous moments. I am young and possess many varied qualities. I'm young and strong, and I am living a great adventure. I am still in the midst of it, and can't grumble the whole day long. I have been given a lot. A happy nature, a great deal of cheerfulness and strength. Every day I feel I am developing inwardly, that the liberation is drawing nearer, and how beautiful nature is. How good the people are about me, how interesting this adventure is. Why then should I be in despair? Yours, Anne. So this is a really interesting take. She's having some really universal and deep thoughts about war and why do we have these kinds of conflicts that leave some parts of the world in absolute destitute poverty with no resources whatsoever, no health care, no clean water, no food, and other places so opulent that we throw away food that could be saving other people. It's a universal thing. And at the same time, why do we wage war on other countries? Why do we work so hard to tear down what we've built up? And it seems to make no sense to her, and sometimes makes no sense to me. And I think that's pretty universal. The thing that I like about this is that she could be completely in despair. She could be down in the dumps, woe is me, everything is horrible, everything is a no good, very bad day. And what she chooses to do instead is to see the things that she has been given, to see this thing as an adventure, to see her life as a gift, and to be cheerful and strong, which is so amazing. I mean, okay, so I had a bad day yesterday and I was like all kinds of down into the dumps. And then I read this part in preparation for, the Anne Frank series videos that I make, and I'm like, oh, Devin, get yourself together. Like, really, you don't have that much to be down in the dumps about. Yes, it's different. Yes, it's stressful. Yes, being an online teacher is not exactly what I signed up for. And, I think we all are getting overwhelmed by certain things at different times. And, I have to remember that, okay, this is an adventure. This is something I've never done before. This is a chance for me to reinvent myself, for me to do something I've never done before, to figure out a problem and fix it and solve it and do my very best. And I should look at it differently. So thank you, Anne Frank, for that. Next journal entry, Friday the 5th of May, 1944. Dear Kitty, Daddy is not pleased with me. He thought that after our talk on Sunday, I automatically wouldn't go upstairs every evening. He doesn't want any necking, a word I can't bear. It was bad enough talking about it, but why must he make it so unpleasant now? I shall talk to him today. Margot has given me some good advice, so listen. This is roughly what I want to say. I believe, Daddy, that you expect a declaration from me, so I will give it to you. You are disappointed in me, as you had expected more reserve from me, and I suppose you want me to be just as a 14-year-old should be. But that's where you're mistaken. Since we've been here from July 1942 until a few weeks ago, I can assure you that I haven't had any easy time. If you only knew how I cried in the evenings, how unhappy I was, how lonely I felt, then you would understand that I want to go upstairs. I have now reached the stage that I can live entirely on my own, without Mummy's support or anyone else's for that matter. But it hasn't happened just in a night. It's been a bitter, hard struggle, and I've shed many a tear before I became as independent as I am now. You can laugh at me and not believe me, but that can't harm me. I know that I'm a separate individual, and I don't feel in the least bit responsible to any of you. I'm only telling you this because I thought that otherwise you might think that I was underhand. But I don't have to give an account of my deeds to anyone but myself. When I was in difficulties, you all closed your eyes and stopped your ears and didn't help me. On the contrary, I received nothing but warnings not to be so boisterous. I was only boisterous so as not to be miserable all the time. I was reckless so as not to hear that persistent voice within me continually. I played a comedy for a year and a half. Day in and day out, I never grumbled, never lost my cue, nothing like that. And now the battle is over. I've won. I'm independent, both in mind and body. I don't need a mother anymore. All this conflict has made me strong. Now on top of it, now that I know that I've fought the battle, now I want to be able to go on in my own way too, the way that I think is right. You can't and mustn't regard me as 14, for all these troubles have made me older. I shall not be sorry for what I have done, but I shall think as I can. You can't coax me into not going upstairs. Either you forbid it, or you must trust me through thick and thin, but then leave me in peace as well. Yours, Anne. Okay, so that's what she wants to say to Daddy. Have you ever done that? Thought about, we're going to talk, and when we talk, this is what I'm going to say. I've done that. Sometimes I have the conversation, and then after I think, oh, this is what I should have said. But she definitely, you can hear that, right? That willful independence, that desire to be her own independent entity, regardless of what her parents say. And you know, I think that's pretty universal. A lot of people are like, well, I know I'm young, but I'm grown up. And that's kind of where she's at right now. She wants to be able to make her own decisions and have her independence. And at the same time, she can't really because she's stuck in the secret annex. So it might be easier for her to assert her independence in less bold ways if she had any freedom. But since she doesn't, I guess she's going to take her strokes where she can. Next journal entry is Saturday, the 6th of May, 1944. So, was what she was going to say to Daddy, so this is about what she did say to Daddy. I put in a letter in which I wrote what I explained to you yesterday in Daddy's pocket before supper yesterday. After reading it, he was, according to Margot, very upset for the rest of the evening. I was upstairs doing the dishes. Poor Pim. I might have known what the effect of such an episode would be. He's so sensitive. I immediately told Peter not to ask or say anything more. Pim hasn't said any more about it to me. Is that yet in store, I wonder? Here everything is going on more or less normally again. What they tell us about the prices and the people outside is almost unbelievable. Half a pound of tea costs 350 florins, which each florin is approximately 28 cents, my footnote says. So a pound of coffee is 80 florins, butter 35 florins per pound, an egg 1.45 florin. People pay 14 florins for an ounce of Bulgarian tobacco. Everyone deals in the black market. Every errand boy has something to offer. Our bakery's boy got hold of some sewing silk, 0.9 florin for a thin little skein. The milkman manages to get clandestine ration cards. The undertaker delivers the cheese. Bulgaries, murders, and theft. Sorry, jeebers creepers. Burglaries. It's been a day. Burglaries, murders, and theft go on daily. The police and night watchmen join in just as strenuously as the professionals. Everyone wants something in their empty stomachs, and because wage increases are forbidden, the people simply have to swindle. The police are continually on the go, tracing girls of 15, 16, 17, and older who are reported missing every day. Yours, Anne. So again, economy crashing, tanking, everything costing a ridiculous amount of money, and then we've talked about this before, desperate people in desperate times will do desperate things. Of course, crime is going to go up when people are scared and hungry and the money has run out. So that's a scary situation. And on top of all that, they're dealing with being in hiding. So it's happening all around them. And it's affecting them because it's affecting the whole world. In a lot of ways, like the coronavirus is affecting the whole world. I mean, the effect is not exactly the same, but, for all intents and purposes, there's a lot of similarities. I mean, economy, kind of in the toilet, not just in America, but the whole world around. We might see inflation of goods and services, and a lot of services are just unavailable right now. We could see a rise in crime. We could see some, rebellion as the money starts to run out. And so, boy, oh boy, Anne Frank has got me thinking today. My goodness gracious. So that's where I'm going to end it for the day today, because I would like to read one more journal entry, but I don't have enough time. So we'll pick it up there again tomorrow. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today. Have a great day.